x is equals to x minus 2 by x minus 3 and root of x minus 2 by x minus 3 and log of x minus 2 by x minus 3 for these type of functions. Already in the last class, I think we discussed about the way of finding domain and range for the first type of functions, and now we are just taking the square root as well as the logarithm for those type of expressions. Okay, first of all, yeah, for a bit, if you are thinking about the domain, see, we need to remove the values whenever the denominator becomes 0. Here the denominator is x minus 3, so at x is equals to 3 it will become 0. So you need to remove that 3 from the real numbers. So the domain is simply nothing but all the real values minus 3. Okay, that's a part. Whereas coming to the range, as I mentioned you, to find the range, we need to consider this x minus 2 by x minus 3 as some y. Okay, I think we already discussed it in the last class, right? X minus 2 by x minus 3 is equals to y. And if you make something like x minus 2 is equals to xy minus 3y, and after making x as a subject, you have it like this. Yeah, x is equals to 2 plus 3y divided by 1 minus y. To get a real value of x always, you need to eliminate 1 from the real numbers. You can't take y as 1. If y is 1, x will become non-real, and that's why eliminate 1 from the real numbers. So the range is simply nothing but all the real numbers minus 1. Okay. So this is domain and range for the first bit a, where f of x is equals to x minus 2 by x minus 3. Whereas if you think about b, okay, square root of x minus 2 by x minus 3. Right, I am eliminating this, I am erasing. Then when you think for b, square root of x minus 2 by x minus 3. By the definition of square root, whenever that square root exists and whenever it not exists, you need to think in such a way. You just think about this x minus 2 by x minus 3. This x minus 2 by x minus 3 is what? Sometimes positive and sometimes negative. Square root exists only for positive numbers. So you need to take what? You need to find out the region, the range of the values for x whenever this x minus 2 by x minus 3 is positive. So for domain, you need to take that x minus 2 by x minus 3 should be greater than 0. And under the square root, if it is 0, no problem, right? And that's why you need to take that x minus 2 into x minus 3 greater than or equals to 0. Okay. So how to find x from these type of rational functions? Actually we call them as rational expressions because numerator and denominator is there. So x minus 2 by x minus 3, right? You just multiply both numerator and denominator with x minus 3, okay? If you don't know the way of solving this, you just pay some attention here, okay? Just I multiplied both numerator and denominator with x minus 3. After that, the denominator will become x minus 3 whole square. Now you just look at the denominator. What is it? X minus 3 whole square means a positive quantity. Square is there, okay? Perfect square quantity means always positive. Since it is always positive, then you are allowed to send it that side, okay? See, in equations, if equality sign is there, easily you will send it that side. But for inequations, you are allowed to send only positive quantities, okay? Since x minus 3 whole square is a positive quantity, now you are allowed. But whereas in this previous step, here the denominator is just x minus 3, we don't know whether that x minus 3 is positive or not because we don't know x, right? So since we don't know about that x, whether it is positive or negative, see, we are not allowed to send that x minus 3 to the right side. But when after multiplying both numerator and denominator with x minus 3, now you have this x minus 2 into x minus 3 by x minus 3 whole square. Here it is very clear, the denominator is x minus 3 whole square, for sure it is positive, and you are free to now send this x minus 3 whole square to that side. Then it becomes x minus 2 into x minus 3 greater than or equals to 0, right? And now this x minus 2 into x minus 3 greater than or equals to 0, as we learned from quadratic, the product of two terms is greater than or equals to 0, then what to say about x? See, x is now nothing but which is less than the smaller value x less than or equals to 2 and it is greater than the larger value x greater than or equals to 3. But as we know, since the denominator can't be 0, okay, you need to remove this equality at that 3. So at the end, the value of x may be less than or equals to 2 or greater than 3. So for this, the domain is simply nothing but what? Either x less than or equals to 2 or greater than 3. Okay, you may write it like this: minus infinity to 2 closed interval union 3 to infinity. Just have a look once. Okay, see, you just take any number which is more than 3, or you just take any number which is less than 2. Take any number and you check whether it is positive or not. For sure, always it is positive, and that's why this is the domain. So once again, to find the domain, see, if square root is involved, to find the domain, you need to find out the values of x whenever the expression under the square root is positive. Here under the square root, the expression is x minus 2 by x minus 3. This is positive, greater than or equals to 0. So if you solve, you get that x less than or equals to 2 or x greater than 3. There is the task. Okay, so this is the domain. Just have a look and then we need to think about the range now. Okay, so how to find the range? First of all, you just think it. See, this is always positive. See, you are just eliminating the region where the values of x whenever they are in between 2 and 3. See, for those values, if you take, it will become negative, so no problem, leave it. Now, see, for different values of x in this place, in this given region, you will get different answers. But square root value is always positive. Okay, since square root value is always positive, you are taking all possible values in the place of x. So when you think in such a way, for range, no need to solve anything. Yeah, the range is simply nothing but only positive real values. Okay, 0 is also included. Okay, positive real values union 0. Okay, and one more thing, previously while discussing the range for this first one, what we mentioned, while discussing the range for this function, we are eliminating 1 because x minus 2 by x minus 3 is never equals to 1. Okay, take any value in the place of x, but it is not equals to 1. Okay, if you wish, just go with the cross check. For suppose if it is equals to 1, if it is equals to 1, you just do cross multiplication, 2 will become 3. That is not possible, right? And that's why in the previous case when you discussed for a bit, we eliminated 1 from the real numbers to the range. Okay, so since this x minus 2 by x minus 3 is there in the square root, so this expression can't be 1. So if it is not 1, then square root value is also not equals to 1. So all positive real values including 0, again minus 1. This is one way. Okay, this is actually range. And in another way, we also write it like this. Okay, all positive real values union 0 to 1. Okay, we will write it like this: 0 is included, 0 to infinity, and you need to eliminate 1 from the collection. Okay, this is the range. Just think about it. This is domain and this is range. Domain is the values of x whenever this expression is positive. Range are all positive values because square root is always positive, and 0 is also possible when you take 2, x as 2, so 0 is to include, but this can't be 1. It never become 1 for any value of x, so you need to eliminate 1. So you need to analyze the problem. These type of problems to finding domain and range won't have any direct formula. Okay, you need to analyze each and every problem. Okay, just have a look. Then see bit. See, logarithm of x minus 2 by x minus 3 base 10. Logarithm of x minus 2 divided by x minus 3 base 10. Okay, again just have a look. See, to find the domain for this function now, we need previous knowledge related to the logarithms. As we discussed in the previous classes, logarithm is definable. Logarithm exists only for positive numbers. So in the same way as we discussed, for domain, you need to find out the values of x whenever this x minus 2 by x minus 3 greater than 0. See here, x minus 2 by x minus 3 greater than 0 in the sense, again in the as like in the previous case, x minus 2 into x minus 3 greater than 0. Here you are not allowed to take is equals to 0. In the previous case for the second bit, under the square root the value may be 0, but log 0 also not exists. That's why you are not allowed to take equality sign here. So x minus 2 into x minus 3 greater than 0. So if you find the possible values of x, x less than 2 or x greater than 3. So when coming to the domain, which is simply nothing but minus infinity to 2 union 3 to infinity. This is the domain. You just take any value, any number in the place of x from this region, always it is positive. So that's good. That's one thing. Next thing is you need to think about the range. See, first of all, what is the range of this x minus 2 by x minus 3? X minus 2 by x minus 3 exists. Okay. Yeah, the range for x minus 2 by x minus 3 is all the real values minus 1. So this number cannot be 1. We already know that x minus 2 by x minus 3 is not equals to 1 for all x. Okay, for any x, or you say is not equals to 1 for any x. Since it is not equals to 1 for any x, when you apply logarithm of x minus 2 by x minus 3 base 10 is not equals to log 1 base 10. And in particular that log 1 base 10 value is 0. So this is not equals to 0. Right? Okay. See, in this place x minus 2 by x minus 3. In this place you will get many real values except 1. If you take different real values, but you can't get negative values because you will fix that range of x such that is positive. So your answers are all real numbers, but it is not equals to 0. So at the end range is simply nothing but all the real values minus 0. That's it. Okay, just have a look. Your range is just simply all the real values minus 0, and domain is the minus infinity to 2 union 3 to infinity. Have a look. So just have a look. Logarithm of square root of x by 2x plus 1 base 10. So what is its domain and what is its range? Okay. See, to find the domain, whenever this logarithm exists, whenever this square root exists, whenever this fraction x by 2x plus 1 exists, for what values of x there exist, you need to think in such a way. See, domain is simply nothing but values of x you need to find. So values of x for which this x by 2x plus 1 exists, values of x for which this square root exists, values of x for which this logarithm exists, all those values of x you need to find. Simply in another way, you need to eliminate those values of x from the real numbers whenever this logarithm, square root and this fraction is not exist. Okay, so simply first of all, when you think about this x by 2x plus 1, the denominator must be non-zero. So one restriction is clearly 2x plus 1 is non-zero. Okay, so since the fraction exists only with this restriction. Okay, now square root is there. Square root exists only if x by 2x plus 1 is greater than or equals to 0. Okay, two restrictions. Then whereas coming to the logarithm exists only for the positive numbers, and square root of something is always positive. Okay, so no problem. See, you won't get any restriction related to the logarithm. This is related to the fraction, rational form. This is related to the square root, and for the logarithm you won't have any restriction. Why? Because the square root is inward, square root is always positive. 2x plus 1 not equals to 0 means x not equals to minus 1 by 2. And this x by 2x plus 1 greater than or equals to 0. Just as we discussed in previous cases, you just multiply with 2x plus 1. X into 2x plus 1 divided by 2x plus 1 whole square is greater than or equals to 0. Right. Since we don't know about this 2x plus 1 whether it is positive or negative, we are not allowed to send that side. But when you make it as square, now it is positive. Since square is there, so send it that side, no problem. Then you will get that x into 2x plus 1 is greater than or equals to 0. Yeah, x into 2x plus 1 in the sense, x into 2x plus 1, if you find the roots from the quadratic, 0 is one root, minus 1 by 2 is one root. Since we have greater than or equals to sign, you need to use that x is less than or equals to minus 1 by 2 or x is greater than or equals to 0. These are the possibilities. X is less than or equals to minus 1 by 2 or x is greater than or equals to 0. Okay. So this restriction is from the fractional form. This restriction is from the square root form, and from the logarithm we have one restriction. What it is means, square root is always positive, that's good, but that square root value never be negative, never be 0, right? Because logarithm of 0 never exists. So you need to eliminate those values of x. So whenever this square root of x by 2x plus 1 is 0, logarithm not exist. So the restriction from the logarithm is this is not equals to 0. So it is very clear that whenever x is not equals to 0, it will happen. So from the first restriction x is not equals to minus 1 by 2. From this restriction x is not equals to 0, and from this second restriction we have that x less than or equals to minus 1 by 2 or x greater than or equals to 0. When you combine all these restrictions, x less than minus 1 by 2 or x greater than 0. So minus infinity to minus 1 by 2 union 0 to infinity is the domain for this given function. Just have a look. This is the way of finding domain for these type of functions. Okay, x by 2x plus 1 exists whenever this is not equals to 0. Square root exists whenever this fraction is greater than or equals to 0. Logarithm exists whenever this is positive. Okay, this is always positive, but sometimes it becomes 0. But 0 is also not allowed for logarithm, so take that is not equals to 0. By combining these three restrictions at the end, this is domain. Have a look and then I will discuss about range. So now about the range. See, to discuss about the range, first of all you need to find out the range from inward to outward. Okay, everything you need to discuss. To find the range for this logarithm of square root, first of all think about the range for square root. And to find the range for that square root, you need to think about the range for that fraction. See, as we know, to find the range for that x by 2x plus 1, as we discussed it with a method, take it as y. So x is equals to 2xy plus y. Make x as the subject. X into 1 minus 2y is equals to y. And from there x is equals to y by 1 minus 2y. And it is very clear, whenever y is 1 by 2, this denominator becomes 0. So x is not real. So you need to eliminate that 1 by 2 from y. So y is not equals to 1 by 2. Since y is not equals to 1 by 2, for this fraction x by 2x plus 1, values are all the real numbers minus 1 by 2. Okay. Since it takes any real value except that 1 by 2, if you apply square root, you will get all possible answers except that root 1 by 2. Since root 1 by 2 is not allowed there, so if you apply logarithm of root 1 by 2, you won't get logarithm of root 1 by 2 for the total function. So the range for the total function is simply nothing but all the real numbers minus logarithm of root 1 by 2 base 10. That's it. This is the range. Okay, just have a look. If it is clear, I will go for the next one. Right. Just look at the problems. See, x square minus 6x plus 14 is involved everywhere. And for all these functions, we need to find domain as well as we need to find range. So, before going to find the domain and range for these all functions, or if you have any one problem among these in your examination, again, before going to answer, first of all, you need to think about that involved quadratic expression. Okay, what is the involved quadratic expression here? X square minus 6x plus 14. Okay, I think you already learnt about quadratic in your previous classes. You need to analyze something about that quadratic first. Okay, x square minus 6x plus 14. Yeah, you have a chance to rewrite that x square minus 6x plus 14 like this. X square minus 6x plus 9 plus 5. Is there anything wrong? Okay. Why I wrote like that? Because this x square minus 6x plus 3 is simply nothing but x minus 3 whole square plus 5. So just now you think that, see, you just think about it. X square minus 6x plus 14 everywhere is involved, and everywhere now you are allowed to rewrite that x square minus 6x plus 14 as x minus 3 whole square plus 5 if you need. Okay, if you need, you can rewrite, right? Now whereas coming to the first problem, what you say about the domain, what you say about the range. See, x square minus 6x plus 14. See, it's a plain polynomial expression, quadratic expression. For this, if you think about the domain is all the real numbers. You just take any real number in the place of x, no problem, you will get an answer. Okay, right. And the next task is range. What you say about the range? Now, for the range, you need to think something. This x square minus 6x plus 14 is simply x minus 3 whole square plus 5. That means a perfect square plus 5. See, this perfect square quantity is always positive. That positive quantity plus 5 is, see, this is always 0 or more than 0. Something square is 0 or more than 0. You are adding 5. So, the result is always 5 or more than 5. So, the range is simply nothing but 5 to infinity. So to decide this 5, to decide this range in this manner, you need to express the given quadratic expression as a perfect square plus or minus some constant. I am repeating, to find out the range for these type of quadratic expressions, you need to rewrite that given quadratic expression as a perfect square plus or minus some constant. Here this perfect square plus 5. Since it is always 0 or more than 0, you are adding 5. So it is 5 or more than 5. So the range is 5 to infinity. There ends the problem. Now, what you say about the domain of this function? Yeah, for this problem, as the first one of this model, I mentioned you all the easy ones, okay? See, x square minus 6x plus 14 is x minus 3 whole square plus 5. So x minus 3 whole square always positive, 5 always positive. So this is positive and this is positive. If you add it as a positive quantity, so this x square minus 6x plus 14 is always positive. Take any number in the place of x, no problem, it is positive. So this x square minus 6x plus 14 is positive. And since it is positive, square root exists for every number. So the domain is all real numbers. And now when you think about the range, see, when you think about the range, square root of all the positive numbers. See, its value starts from 5 and more than 5. So when you apply square root again, its range is root 5 to infinity. Okay, that's about the second problem. Then coming to the third one, 1 by. See, whenever 1 by is there, you need to think about the denominator. See, is there any number, is there any value x for which the denominator is 0? See, again, if you think about the denominator x square minus 6x plus 14, here for this particular expression, x minus 3 whole square plus 5, which is always positive. You just think about it. Take any number in the place of x. It is positive. 5 is also positive. It never negative. So this is not negative. This is not 0 also. Since it is not 0, the domain is all the real numbers. No problem. If for some values, if the denominator is 0, you need to eliminate those, but in particular, no problem. Domain is all real values. Then what you say about the range? Then range again, you need to reciprocally try. As I mentioned you in previous classes, see, this is 5 or more than 5. When you reciprocal, the value is 1 by 5 and less than 1 by 5. So your answer is 0 to 1 by 5. Just think about it. This is the range for this one. Again, yeah, for this function again, the domain is all the real numbers. For this function again, the domain is all the real numbers. Because this is in the form of perfect square plus positive quantity, it is always positive, and that's why for these two functions also domain is all the real values. Just I will write range now, okay? Then what you say about the range? Again, this is 1 by root of x square minus 6x plus 14. This is root 5 to infinity. Then here the range is 0 to 1 by root 5. You need to reciprocal that root 5. You need to reciprocal that root 5 and less than that 1 by root 5. Okay. Then logarithm. Again, you just apply logarithm with base 7. So the given function is 5 to infinity. If you apply logarithm with base 7, logarithm of 5 base 7 to infinity is your range for the last function. Just have a look. Okay. I mentioned here the simple quadratic expression where the expression is a perfect square plus some constant. And in the next class, I will give you some expressions, some quadratic formats where that is not a perfect square plus positive quantity. Okay, you just have a look.